Hi everyone, for today's video I'm going to be going through all of my recent favorites, and then we're going to end the video with some things that I have tried recently that I really did not like at all. I'm really excited to get into today's video though, because I have hauled a lot of these products recently, so it's going to be fun to talk about them as I get ready today, and then it just kind of lets you guys know what I've actually been using since I bought all of that makeup. I'll leave the haul down below. For my base today, I'm mixing together the Fenty Eavesdrop and the Undone Beauty Unfoundation Matte Tint. I recently picked up the Praline Medium shade because the Sand Medium shade was just becoming a bit too light. I am spending a little bit more time outside right now. Picked up Praline Medium because it was like the next darkest shade. Undone definitely needs to expand their matte tint shade range. They just expanded their glow tint shade range, but there definitely needs to be a few more medium shades in between Sand Medium and Praline Medium, especially because Praline Medium, if you can see right there, it's pretty yellow toned, like pretty warm toned. So yeah, there's just, you know, other shades of medium out there. The Praline Medium shade I feel is a little bit like too dark in a way, but because the coverage is really very sheer, and same like with the Sand Medium, I was able to get away with the Sand Medium for quite a while until it just became definitely too light. So the shades are really flexible, so it's okay that Praline Medium isn't like a perfect match, but you know, I definitely think that a shade expansion is in the works, or it should be for sure. But I wanted to mix these products together. They're definitely one of my favorite skin tints that I've really ever tried. I'm a huge fan of both of them, but I feel like they are very different. Undone definitely is super sheer, and the Fenty definitely carries a bit more coverage with it, but it's still pretty much a tint. But yeah, I wanted to mix them. I really like how that looks. I think that looks super nice. But yeah, these are some great skin tints, especially for oily skin. I've been super loving them. I use the 11 shade in the Fenty Eavesdrop, and then the Praline Medium shade, it does look super dark right here, but I will say, like, it does sheer out and it doesn't end up looking like super duper dark. I would say that if you are lighter than me, I would go with the Sand Medium, but if you are a little bit deeper than me or my skin tone, I think that you would like the Praline Medium. So I hauled the Tarte Ultra Creamy Shape Tape, their newer Shape Tape formula. I have the shade Medium in it. I am going to use a little bit of it today, but honestly, I haven't really been picking it up too often. It's not really a like favorite of mine, like a recent favorite, but it's definitely not a product that I'm like hating or won't ever pick up again. I've just kind of not been in a concealer mood lately. Let me try. I don't even think I should have bothered covering that up. I might put like one of those little fake moles on. That might be cute. But I feel like I kind of always try and skip concealer if I can, just because I've kind of been feeling like I am not getting what I want from a concealer. It's either a bit too full coverage, which is like what I'm dealing with my Fenty concealer and my Rare Beauty concealer, because I have been alternating between these two a lot lately. I'm just currently not getting what I want out of them. I don't really know what I want. I think I want like a really nice hydrated under eye, and the Tarte concealer just didn't wow me. I do think that people would really like this concealer. It's not as full coverage as the Tarte regular Shape Tape formula. I definitely don't think it's as full coverage as that, but it did do a good job like concealing what it needed to conceal, and I do think it sits on the skin nicely. I just really don't pick it up too often, but like I said, I'm not really into concealer at the moment. Honestly, except if you're the Undone Concealer Reveal concealer, I love this stuff, and I'm always happy with like how my under eyes look. Honestly, I might stick a little bit on right now just because I don't know, I'm just not really happy with how my under eyes look. But my preferences have changed, I feel, like makeup wise over the year. I'm referring to mainly the school year, because I've been working my teaching job. So yeah, I think that looks really nice. I love this concealer so much. So a bronzer fave, I think that you guys are going to know what I'm pulling out. Tower 28. Seriously have been loving it. I cannot believe I didn't try this sooner, especially when you guys told me that this was one of the original shades, the Besto shade. Just don't even know what I was thinking, but this is so beautiful. I love how it applies so much. I love the color of it. It's so nice. And I love that shine it gives. I really did not think that I was going to like something like that, but I love it. Perfect summer bronzer. I bet I'll hit pan on this by the end of the summer. That'll be a goal, to hit pan on that by the end of the summer, because I think I will. It's obviously much easier, in my opinion, I think, to use a cream, like use a lot of cream product, than it is powder. But I did go through an entire Becca bronzer, so I can go through my bronzers. But yeah, I'm just going in with the e.l.f. brush, airbrush precision brush. Such a fave. Anytime my jawline kind of looks like that, anytime, I just go over it with a foundation brush, especially if I have just like used that foundation brush, because it'll just kind of blend it a bit more. I have something like, I want to cover that up a little bit more, but I might just use the skin tint for that. I'm not going to bother mixing it again, I'm just going in with the Fenty. And then another bronzer, I'm not going to apply it in today's video, but I have been loving it too. It's the Danessa Myricks bronzer in the shade Medium. I do feel like I am shading out of this shade. I'm getting a little bit too dark, I feel, for it. Yeah, it's like, I just applied it right there. It is blending right into the skin, kind of. So maybe I'll pick up a darker shade. I kind of wish that they had more shades. Yeah, hopefully they'll expand that. But right now I'm using the medium. It is getting to be a little bit too light for me, but I love the texture of it. It's so creamy, so moussey, and it applies to the skin super nicely. I wish that you could see that swatch a little bit better, but yeah, it just looks super nice and natural on the skin. Love it. At this point, I always like to do my brows, and I love my brow girl Jennifer. Love, love, love her. But I really missed my quarantine brows. Like, I did go back to Jennifer to get my brows waxed. Right now I'm using the Anastasia Brow Freeze and then the new Brow Freeze little tool that they came out with. I don't know if I love it, but I am using it. But yeah, she waxed my brows. They looked amazing, you know, as they usually do. But I ended up, throughout like the few weeks that my brows were going back out, I ended up really missing like how my brows look when they are really full like this. We'll see if I actually end up getting my brows done. And then this just never works for me, I feel. Maybe I need to hold it. I just don't know if this looks good on me. I'll just let that sit for a little bit and then fill in with a little bit of color. But yeah, let's just move on. So I've only really been using two blushes lately, and that's been the Tower 28 blush in Power Hour, and then the Danessa Myricks Vision Flush blush in the shade Ballet Slippers. So I've only really been using these and just switching off on these, and I really like both of them. Love the Tower 28 formula, and I'm really happy that they came out with more shades of this formula, because the original Magic Hour blush, it just wasn't deep enough for me. This one, the Power Hour shade, is perfect. I love it. I'll go ahead and swatch it here. It's so nice. It's really nice on the lips too. It's like a nice lip to cheek shade, which I love when a lip to cheek shade can actually look good on my skin tone. But since I'm wearing Tower 28 as my bronzer, I am going to use the Danessa Myricks on my cheeks. I'm actually going to apply it with my sponge. Kind of curious about the application this way. But I really like this product too. I think the color is amazing, and I love how much you can like spread this product. It also just looks really nice on the skin. I definitely prefer it on the cheeks compared to their like color fixes. I don't love the color fixes on my cheek area, which kind of bums me out. I have a few colors that would look really good on the cheeks, but I just really don't like how they look or kind of wear. But I love how this looks and wears. I think it's so pretty. Adding just a little bit more color. I used to watch my mom do her makeup when I was younger, and she'd always put blush on her chin and her forehead. Going to prime my eyes with my Urban Decay Primer Potion. One product I've also been really liking is this Patchology little lip treatment. It's a little minty. I love how it looks on the lips. My lips have been so dry lately. For my eyes, I'm going to be using two different eye products. I have the little Kaja Bento stack in Spiked Ginger, and then I have this Danessa Myricks Color Fix in the shade Gold Mine. Oh my god, this shade is amazing. I'm going to swatch it for you guys. I'm definitely going to put some on my eyes, but it's so, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. I think I'm going to kind of sheer it out for today's look, but do you see how beautiful and intense you can have that? It has little tiny glitters through it, but it's so smooth. It's amazing. I love this formula, and I really like this formula on the eyes too. I find I get a really good wear out of it, especially when I wear primer, but even if I skip primer, I still get a really good wear from it. And then I'm also going to swatch the shade Celebration. I also really like this shade Celebration, and I like it worn by itself too. I think it's a great one and done shadow. Blend a little bit in the crease, get it all over the lid, and it looks like a complete look. I'm going to take a little bit of that dark matte shade on the Spiked Ginger Bento Box Trio from Kaja. I'm just blending it into the eye, focusing on the outer corner, but taking it all the way in. I really like the Kaja matte formula. I had only tried their, you know, glitter shimmery shades, and I love them, fell in love with them from their Toasted Caramel stack. Love the Toasted Caramel stack. So I wanted to try another one. I picked it up. I think that the matte shades are really amazing, soft, blendable. Really love it. And then the other like little shiny shade in here is really pretty too. I totally wish they had more color variants of this. I want more. But I am going to go in now with my Color Fix in Gold Mine. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. I'm gonna use a close-up mirror, and I'm actually going to use it, apply it with like a, I'm applying it with actually like a flat eyeshadow brush, kind of getting the color where I want, and I'm gonna quickly go in with my more fluffy eyeshadow brush. I'll link down below a whole video on my brushes. Wow, that looks spectacular. If you guys don't already follow the Danessa Myricks Instagram page, you are missing out. There are so many looks on there that I just want to recreate. I want like the whole collection of color fixes. I just think that these are awesome. I do really wish that I liked them a bit better for my cheeks, but oh my gosh, the work that you can do on the eyes with them, just amazing. Oh, I love how that looks. So I guess I didn't really sheer it out as much as I was kind of thinking, but in a way it is kind of sheared out, because I do think that like you can get this to look totally foiled on the eyes. But yeah, I love how that looks. Wow, definitely need to get some brows on though. I am just continuing to really like this NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen. Just continuing to really like it. I love the shade match. I think that the pen works great. I just got a clump though. Hold on. I like the Brow Freeze a lot, and also the NYX Brow Glue a lot, but I like both of these products because I feel like even when you go in and kind of brush it through again after it's been sitting dried, since it is a wax, it takes that so well. It takes it so well. Yeah, I think that this is a perfect color. It's the shade Espresso, which hasn't always worked for me the best. Also have tried Espresso in the Micro Brow Pencil from NYX, and that shade match wasn't always the best. It just kind of looked a little bit red at times, but I think this Espresso is different. It's much more like just dark brown. Just applied a little bit of the Honest Beauty Lash Primer, and now I'm going in with my Maybelline The Falsies Mascara. I've actually been setting my makeup with powder a lot, like almost every single time I do makeup. which is kind of a change. I wasn't really doing that for a while, but honestly, I think it makes a difference. I do. I think it makes a difference. I have been liking, though, the Fenty Beauty powder. I just have the small size of it, and it'll probably last me a little while. But I've been liking that one. In terms of like a pressed powder, I still love my Undone Beauty one. I also like the LYS one. I think that one's really nice and smoothing. I know I have a little bit of mascara, but that needs to dry before I take care of it. I have a few lip products that I've been rotating through. The first one is the M2U NYC in Queensboro, and I'll swatch that for you. I might also, why don't I just go ahead and swatch them all on the lips too. Love that shade. I love that shade so much. That's what Queensboro looks like. This brand is super duper affordable. They are also vegan and cruelty free, so definitely check them out. I will leave them linked down below. But yeah, love this shade. It's so nice. And it is a matte, so I know it looks a little bit glossy, but it's so pretty. The next lip I've been liking is my NARS Soft Matte Tinted Lip Balm, and this is in the shade Whiplash. I hauled this one recently. Yeah, I think this shade is super duper cute. It's a little bit deeper than Queensboro, but I think it's really flattering. It's a really great like little midday touch-up lip too, and I like the formula. I think the formula is really nice and comfortable. And then lastly, a lip that I've been wearing pretty often as well, and I recently wore it in like a little Instagram story, and a ton of you guys were asking me what color it was. It's the Juvia's Place lipstick in the shade Me. I don't know if I love the way that these lipsticks are shaped. Wow, I think all three of these shades that I just shared have kind of like a similar maybe base of a little bit like peachy orange. Maybe I should put on a little bit of like peachy orange blush. I'm going to put on this lip to cheek in the shade Flare. Ooh, yeah, I think that looks really cute. So I really only have a few products here that I did not like recently, two of which are from ColourPop. I did not like these Cheek Dew serum blushes, and then this one right here is just yucky in the shade Beyond. It like separated and has this black liquid in it, and I know that I can just, I'm gonna shake it up to swatch them, but yeah, it's just yuck. I can't really even mix it that well. But I have the shades Tumble For Ya, Kiss Kiss, and Beyond. These are the shades that I got. I just did not like this formula, which definitely doesn't surprise me. I don't like serum blushes, but this one I actually disliked even more than the M Cosmetics serum blush. Yeah, this Beyond one, it's not even all mixed up and it's just yucky. The other ones don't have that problem, but that one is Kiss Kiss, that one is Tumble For Ya, and then this one is Beyond. These look like they would be pretty and like kind of look nice, but I just don't like serum blush formulas. I don't like how they look on the skin, especially over top of actual like face makeup. I feel like the consistency of it mixes with the foundation that I have on, and then it just gets kind of like milky and yucky on the skin. The only time that I think serum blushes are nice are if you are not wearing any like complexion product underneath, or maybe just like a little bit of concealer under the eyes or something, spot concealing. I do not like it on top of, you know, other makeup, which is how I usually wear blush. So yeah, these did not get my stamp of approval. I do not like these serum blushes. I think that they look and sit kind of gross on the skin, and I just don't like it. I will be definitely like decluttering them. Also from ColourPop, I picked up some of their cream gel colors. These are in their matte formula, which I understand might be a little bit harder to have it not be a dry consistency, but if it's gonna be dry, maybe don't release it. The shade in Dimples that I have was so dry. I could not get a straight line going across my eyes. It was so dry. Hopefully you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about, but it was kind of like dry and crumbly. Maybe I could try using it on my finger. Oh no, even that it feels like is, you guys can see kind of like it's, yeah, it's gonna dry and then it's just not gonna be movable. I did not like these at all. Another product that I really did not like, and I'm upset about it because I love those bento shadows. I love them so much. But Kaja released a bento stack for like cheek products. They released a matte powder blush, a very shimmery highlighter powder, and then a cream bronzer. Kind of odd in my opinion. I'll go ahead and swatch them all. The bronzer is also a little bit light. I don't love the highlighter. I don't think it goes on as smooth as it could. I think that Kaja would have done like a baked formula really nicely. And then the matte blush is just weird. I kind of wish that maybe they just did all cream in the bento stack. But those are the colors. I guess seeing them swatched out, they look good, but that highlight is very frosty, and in my opinion, I just really wouldn't like it. This is the medium stack, so they do have just 3 color varieties. This is the medium one. The bronzer is okay in deepness, but I definitely think, like, you know, at some point over the summer, this is gonna be too light for me. And then last is a product that I really wish did not end up in this set of products, and that is my Rare Beauty True to Myself eyeshadow palette. I really just like this big chunky glitter middle shade. I thought at first this was gonna be a glitter metallic, kind of like the Hourglass Scattered Lights formula, but it is definitely a pressed glitter, and I find that to be so offensive. I do not like the pressed glitter being like so big in this palette, and I just don't really like pressed glitters anyway. I think that they look really nice on the eyes, but the time that I wore the pressed glitter, I ended up like finding glitter still on my face 3 days later, and I just don't love that. I don't even know if this glitter is eye safe or biodegradable either. However, the other shades in the palette are really nice, and I actually do love that shimmery shade right here. But then the matte shades are not quite as smooth and blendable as the Kaja shades that I've been using. So this palette overall just didn't really impress me, and I don't recommend it. Like, if you were wanting it, I would say skip it. Yeah, I do think I'll still pull it out, use it here and there. And so I'm not going to be decluttering it, but I think eventually I will definitely be decluttering those 2 ColourPop products and the Kaja one. But that is going to be it from me today. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing me go through some of my favorite products right now, and then some products that I really have not been liking. Oh, I forgot to set my face. Let me set my face with something I have been kind of liking. I like this Physicians Formula, the Essence of Healthy Toner and Setting Spray. And I just spray this on my skin before and after makeup, and I just think it looks and feels really nice. So yeah, that is going to be it from me today. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Also, let me know what you guys have been liking and what you guys have not been liking. I'd love to hear it. If you aren't already subscribed, definitely go ahead and do so, and hopefully I see you next time.